What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and this is episode 15 of building a $20 sneaker collection. Thanks so much as always for tuning in. If this is your first time watching the series, I definitely recommend starting from the beginning of the series because then you'll have some idea of what's going on in this episode by clicking the link in the description below or at the top of the screen. And if you don't feel like doing that, that's totally fine too. Essentially what we're trying to accomplish in this series is start out with just a $20 bill and then take that $20 bill, buy a bunch of sneakers, clean them up and resell them until we have an entire sneaker collection filled with grails, retros, and just a bunch of awesome sneakers. And then at the end of the series, we're gonna try and pick up a pair of Nike mags, which last time I checked, the last sold listing was for like $16,000 and now the lowest ask on StockX is $20,000. So honestly, this series is just getting more difficult as the days go on. Honestly, that's totally fine with me because I'm really enjoying making each episode of this series. And if you enjoy watching this series, make sure to click that like button and also that subscribe button and that notification bell if you haven't yet, just so you can be notified whenever new videos from this series come out. But today's episode is honestly a banger. We've got a lot of crazy pickups. We've got sneakers app wins, we've got Adidas app wins, we've got crazy finds at thrift stores, and of course we've also got the unboxing of the pair of sneakers that we picked up on the Tradeblock app. I cannot wait to see how these look. I honestly have no idea how they're gonna look because the pictures were so rough, but I'm excited to find out. But before we do that, I want to fill you all in on where we're at with the sneaker collection fund. At the end of last episode, we had $487.27 in the fund. Not only that, we also ended up selling the pair of AF1s over the weekend, which is a pair that we picked up last week for, I believe, $25. Now, at the end of every one of these episodes, I make sure to ask you guys if there's anything that you guys think that I could do better in this series. And one comment in particular I thought was really great, and it's something that I want to incorporate into the series. And that comment was essentially, why aren't we showing the net profit of every sneaker that we sell in that sort of breakdown of the sneaker sales? Because the way that we do it now is I just show you the total gross profit going back into the sneaker fund, not the net profit, not the total amount that we made off each sneaker. So I feel like that's a good addition and it's something that we should add because it'll let us know whether that sneaker was actually worth picking up. So like I said, the sneaker that we ended up selling was that pair of AF1s that we picked up from Buffalo Exchange last week for $25. And I think I ended up taking an offer on these shoes and I think the offer was for $40. And so after fees and shipping, the amount that we were able to add back into the sneaker collection fund was $35.71, meaning that we made a net profit of $10.71, which honestly is not a bad investment. You make $10 or 50% extra on top of what you invested into that product. The only problem is though, while that is a pretty good investment and while you make some good money on your money very quickly, we did spend a lot of time getting these shoes, listing these shoes, and selling these shoes, and for only a $10 profit, I feel like I really need to start going bigger. Like I need to start buying bigger lots of sneakers and more expensive sneakers. And if you guys have any suggestions of how to do that, whether you know anyone that sells mystery boxes or whether you know someone who has like a big collection that they're trying to sell, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below because I feel like that's really the next step up. But after all of that, the amount that we have in the sneaker collection fund to start off the week is $522.98. But before we dive into the thrifting and the thrift store finds, why don't we open up this package that we got from Tradeblock, which we traded for with my pair of Nike Blazer Ben Simmons mids, I believe that they were, in great condition, and the only reason I got rid of them was because I felt like this was a really great trade deal. This show has really become kind of a variety hour. Like you're getting unboxings, you're getting sneaker reviews, sort of. You're getting sneaker cleaning tutorials, you're getting sneaker shopping videos. It's everything. This is like everything my channel has ever been in one video series once a week. Inside the box, we've got a Jordan box. So I don't know if you guys remember what we traded for last week, but it is a pair of Jordans. And I didn't know how they looked because the pictures that were on the Tradeblock app were not great. Shout out to the person who traded with me. I felt like I got the better end of the deal for sure. Appreciate you for trading with me. The only thing is that it is kind of a risk because I don't know what these sneakers are gonna look like because the pictures just weren't great. But as you guys can see on the front of the box, it is a size 9, my true size, Air Jordan 4 Retro SE. The top of the box is a little bit dirty, but nothing too crazy. Okay, so the first thing inside the box is the Tradeblock thing. This is not sponsored by Tradeblock. I'm just literally using them for this trade because I thought it was a good deal. But here are the sneakers, the Air Jordan 4 Neons. These are authenticated by Tradeblock too, so I know they're legit. These are the Air Jordan 4s that are based off of the Air Max 95 Neons. Now these shoes are definitely dirty, primarily on the outsole. The upper doesn't look bad. There is a little bit of scuffing on the suede because obviously the midsole is suede on this shoe, or nubuck, and that scuffs pretty easily. But the upper of the shoe is actually in pretty great condition. I'm not gonna smell the shoe, but it doesn't have like a bad smell to it. So it's in pretty decent condition. Honestly, better condition than I thought. And these shoes do resell for like 180, maybe 200 in really great condition. Let me know in the comment section down below, but should I keep this shoe in the collection or should I sell it and try and make some money off of it? I mean, I got the Nike Blazers for I think 40 or 50 bucks, and so trading that for a sneaker that I just have to put some TLC into, and then I could sell them for 180 is a pretty decent trade, honestly. So what I'm gonna do now is actually clean these up with some Reshoevn8r so that we can make them as clean and as fresh as they possibly can be, and then I'll decide whether I'm keeping them or selling them. So let's get to it. And today what I'll be using to clean these sneakers is the brand new Reshoevn8r Executive Kit. Huge shout out to Reshoevn8r for sponsoring today's video and just being a huge supporter of the channel for years. If you guys wanna grab any of the Reshoevn8r products that we talk about in today's video, like the Executive Kit, make sure to use my code Seth and click the link in the description below. But this kit is really cool because this kit is actually designed for people to start their own sneaker cleaning business, which is actually kind of what we're doing here. So basically inside the kit, you get all the products that you would ever need to start your own sneaker cleaning business. You've got the, I'm dropping them everywhere. You've got the sneaker laundry bag. You've got a couple sneaker laundry bags, actually. You've got the Reshoevn8r microfiber towel. You've got the essential shoe cleaning kit. You've got a ton of different brushes. You've got the drying bowl and rack. You've got everything. Everything that you could ever need to start your own sneaker cleaning business. You've even got the dry suede kit, which is actually something we're gonna use a bunch of today because the shoes that we have are suede. And I didn't even know this was coming in this box, so this is perfect. And something else that's really cool about the Executive Kit is that Reshoevn8r is actually trying to foster you starting your own business. So they actually offer the Executive Club, which gives you the option to get your own business cards and your own business stuff, all the sort of stuff that you need to look legit when it comes to sneaker cleaning, and they wanna help you do that, which I think is awesome. So again, if you guys wanna check this out, make sure to click the link in the description below. But with all of that said, let's dive into cleaning these neons and making them look as fresh as they possibly can look. So to start the week off strong, I went to one of my new favorite places, which is Buffalo Exchange in Center City, Philadelphia, because they always have an incredible selection and always have stuff that I would never expect to find. So starting off the week strong, no pun intended, the first shoe that we found was this pair of Jumpman Pro Strongs, which is a sneaker that came out, I believe, last in maybe 2010 or 2014. It was priced at 45 bucks, which is a little bit more than I was willing to pay for this shoe because I just don't think it resells for that much, but it's a nice looking pair of sneakers, and hey, if it was cheaper, maybe I would have grabbed it. Next up, I found one of my favorite Adidas sneakers of all time, and that's the Adidas Top 10. What's funny is that actually my favorite pair of Top 10s I bought at Buffalo Exchange, actually at this exact Buffalo Exchange in 2010 when I was in college, and I wore that shoe to the ground. So finding another pair in my size, a size 9.5, I was stoked, and it was priced pretty well at 35 bucks. However, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it or if I'm gonna sell it, so I'm gonna put it back for now and just think on it. The next pair that I found was this pair of Adidas snakeskins. At first I thought it was a pair of Air Max snakeskins, but I have no idea what these are. They're interesting, they're out there. I really should have looked up the resale price on eBay. Let me know in the comment section down below if I made a mistake, but it was a shoe that I'd never seen before and I'd never even really heard of, so because of that, I just wasn't really willing to take the risk because I remember it being priced pretty high for what it was. After that, I decided to hit up their high-end wall, which usually has a lot of really great sneakers, and the first pair that I found was this pair of NMD R2s? I don't remember exactly what these are called, but I think that they're R2s. They're like the second generation NMD R1. This pink colorway I don't think ever really went for that much, but even though 2 years ago I think it could have flipped for a lot, right now NMDs just don't have the resale value, so I decided to leave it. Next I found this pair of Air Force Ones. It was like this blue corduroy pair with this green snakeskin. I remember seeing these online, but I just don't think that they're moving that well, and as you guys saw earlier on in the video, we sold those Air Force Ones for not as much as I would have liked, so I decided to leave it. Next I found a pair of Pumas, which Puma actually sent me a while back. It's the Static RSXs, I believe. It's in really great condition, it was barely worn, and it was priced pretty well, but I just don't think there's any resale on RSXs. That's why I've left every pair that I found so far. Next, I found a pair that I just never expected to find, and that was this glitch camo pair of NMD R1s. I think this released near the end of when glitch camos were popular. I don't know what's going on with the camera right now. I think I'm maybe like checking the price or something, but it's getting a little crazy. It was a size 11.5, priced at $35, but after checking sold listings on eBay, even though this this is a great colorway, they're just really not moving for more than like 40 or 50, so it's just not worth it for me. But I still love the shoe. I really wish it was in my size because I honestly probably would have grabbed it because I'm so nostalgic for these glitch camo NMDs. Next, I found a pair of Westbrook 0.1s in the 3M or reflective colorway. I think it was like a camo 3M or something like that. It's not a solid 3M look, and you can sort of see throughout the upper there's these weird sort of patterns going on. Nice looking pair of shoes, but unfortunately there's no resale on some of the older 0. whatever, so for that reason, decided to leave this pair, although it was in good condition. Next, I went over to the women's section and I found this pair of Air Max 270 Reacts in the original colorway, the Bauhaus colorway, I think. I really love this colorway, but there's just something about how the shoe feels on foot. The Air unit's stiffer than the React, and it's weird having a stiff heel and a soft forefoot. I don't know, I just don't like the way the shoe feels on foot, and it's just not really reselling for anything. I also found a pair of Blazers in this really nice clean white and black colorway. It was a size 7.5, so a little bit small and a little bit harder to sell. It was in good condition though, at least so I thought. The left shoe was, in particular. But then if you look up the right shoe, the suede on the toe was just screwed up. There's just not much that can be done. But then I found it, a pair of Yeezy Quantum sitting on the top shelf.
They're $275.
$275? Okay. Thank you so much. Do you know what size? Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, unfortunately, this pair of Yeezy Quantum in Flames, I believe they were called, were worn, even though they looked brand new on the top of the shelf. Not only that, they were priced at an insane $275, which is more than they're reselling for. I think you can walk down the street to Ubic, or I guess it's now Atmos, and find a pair on sale. So there's no way I was grabbing this shoe, but it was kind of cool to find at a Plato's Closet. If they had had it for maybe $100, $150, I would have grabbed it, but no way for $275. So before I left, I did decide to pick up the Adidas Top 10s, and honestly, I think I'm actually going to add these to the sneaker collection. Next, we ended up selling the pair of Air Jordan 11 closing ceremonies that we picked up from Buffalo Exchange a couple weeks back for $35. So this pair we ended up selling for $59, and after fees and shipping, we were able to make a gross profit of $51.69. So subtract the original $35, and we get a net profit of $16.69, which I've got to say isn't bad, but it also isn't great. So I think moving forward, like I said before, we're definitely going to start pushing for larger deals. So the next pickup was definitely a surprise, and that's because I picked up a pair of sneakers on the Sneakers app, which is kind of like, what? That's crazy. So there were two pairs of shoes dropping. There were the Chocolate Milk Nike Dunk Mids, as well as the Air Jordan 11 IEs. I entered for both, and as you could have guessed, I only got the IEs, which is not bad, but also not amazing. The one thing that is kind of amazing though is how much I got the IEs for. So as I've said in the past, whenever I buy sneakers off the Sneakers app, as long as I don't pay for extra shipping, shipping is free. And also because I live near Philly, I don't have to pay sales tax on essentials, meaning clothing or anything that you need to live on, clothing, food. As long as it's not like designer goods, I don't have to pay any extra tax on it, which means that I only have to pay the MSRP on sneakers from the Sneakers app. So in this case, I paid $175 even. Now obviously I don't have these sneakers in yet because I didn't pay for expedited shipping, so we'll have to wait until next week to actually unbox these sneakers. So make sure to stay tuned, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and also let me know in the comment section down below whether I should keep these sneakers in the collection or whether I should sell them, flip them, or trade them, or whatever. So after that come up on the Sneakers app, I decided to hit up Plato's Closet and see if my luck would carry over. So obviously Plato's Closet is one of my favorite places to go to buy sneakers. They always have a really decent selection, at least at this particular Plato's Closet, and today was really no different. They still had those Revenge Storms that had been sitting for a while at this point. I think it's because they are selling for $100, which is way more than they're worth. I think on eBay these go for like 80 to 90. Just really not worth the pickup, especially because it's not in my size. They also still had a bunch of Tims left over from last week's Tims sale. I did pick up a pair of Tims, which I'm definitely going to keep in the sneaker collection. The next pair that I found was this pair of Hardens. Now this is actually one of the lowest reviewed Hardens I've ever seen. I think this pair came out earlier this year, and every video that I watched on these pair of shoes just bashes the sneaker. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's an interesting looking sneaker, but apparently performance-wise, it's not a good shoe, and because of that, just decided to leave it. I did find this pair of Nike Kyrie 2s, which is my favorite pair of Kyries to date. I love the sneaker. The only problem was that this shoe had insane forefoot drag and heel drag. Even though the upper of the shoe was in good condition and the shoe was priced pretty well, the sneaker was at the end of its life. I mean, the outsole of the shoe was worn down. Like, there's no way you could get any grip in this sneaker because it's missing half of the tread. So unfortunately, had to pass. So I don't know if you all remember last week that I found this pair of Jordans and I didn't know what they were. Well, it's because I'm stupid. So this is a Mellow, and you can read it right there on the tongue. I should have read it. But yeah, thanks for letting me know in the comment section down below. Even though I now know what this shoe is, it's still not worth it, and it's still not a sneaker that I'm going to pick up, but at least I know what sneaker it is now. It's a mellow. Next up, I found this pair of Puma Diamond Collab sneakers. Now, I think this is a skate shoe. I'm not sure the exact model. I looked up the SKU and I could find sneakers that were similar or collaborations that were similar between Diamond and Puma, but I couldn't find this exact sneaker. Regardless, the comparable listings on eBay weren't that great, so I decided to leave the shoe because I just didn't think it was worth it. Okay, so just stopped by Plato's Closet, the one that I usually go to. Obviously, I didn't pick anything up. There was really nothing in there that was that exciting or really worth anything. That's kind of just how it goes sometimes. Like, maybe 3 out of every 10 times that I go, I don't buy anything, which is still a pretty high percentage of buying stuff, but this time there wasn't really anything. It also could be that I went at like the end of the day and everything's probably gone. There was a bunch of people in there, so I don't know. I guess it's my fault that I didn't go like right when the store opened, but it is what it is. I jumped over to next door, which is Goodwill, one of my favorite places to go for really anything thrift. Now, unfortunately, Goodwill doesn't always have the best sneaker collection. However, today was one of the better days. The first pair that I found was this pair of Adidas Superstars in this sort of cream and white colorway. Now, I actually had a lot of trouble finding this one on eBay. I could only find standard pairs of Superstars, even though I searched the specific SKU. I do have to say, though, this shoe was in excellent condition, the colorway was really nice, and it was priced really well. Again, though, the only problem is that all the SKUs that I could find were for standard pairs of Adidas Superstars, and because of that, the pricing wasn't that crazy on eBay, and I really wouldn't make that much, so I decided to leave it. Then I found this pair of Nike basketball sneakers that kind of look like Hyperdunks. I'm not sure if they're Hyperdunks, let me know in the comment section down below, but they were in pretty decent condition. I really like the green and neon green colorway, definitely a clean look. But shoes like this just don't really seem to have that much value, and even though they're harder to find at places like Goodwill, it's not something that I felt like I would need to pick up, at least not at this stage in the series, maybe at the beginning, but not right now. So it was a shoe that I decided to leave. So on the other side of the aisle, I found this pair of Adidas Crazy Explosives, or what I think are Crazy Explosives, I'm not sure, but it's a basketball sneaker from Adidas, again, priced pretty well, but because it's not a signature shoe, it doesn't seem to have that much value because it's definitely an older model, so no need to pick up this one. So the last pair that I found at Goodwill was this pair of Nike Air Max Wavies, which is a pair of sneakers that I've never found at a thrift store or otherwise before. I have seen this shoe, I guess, on people's feet. It's probably where I saw it, but unfortunately this shoe was in relatively rough condition. As you guys saw, there was some wear on the inside of the left shoe, which is kind of a bummer. The tread was in okay condition, and they were priced pretty well at $13.49, but with that damage on the left shoe, they weren't going to go for much. On eBay, they were selling for like $40 without damage, brand new, so it wasn't worth it. And then the final pair of shoes that we ended up selling this week was the pair of Ultra Boosts that we picked up last week for $35 at Buffalo Exchange. So for this pair of Ultra Boost Climbers, I took an offer of $60 and we ended up making a gross profit of $52.20 after shipping and fees. Subtract the original purchase price of $35 and we get a net profit of $17.20. So that's almost a 50% profit on our initial investment, and I guess if we're just going off purely percentages, the best deal that we made this entire video, or at least of shoes that we had sold, was that pair of Air Force Ones, which we made just over a 50% profit on. But I mean, realistically, we made more money with this deal, so I would probably do this deal again versus that Air Force One. So I don't know what it is, I'm just a yard sale fanatic. I love yard sales, I buy tons of things at yard sales, whether it's video games, sneakers, or whatever, and this weekend there was a huge yard sale in New Jersey. It was like probably 30 or 40 yard sales throughout this entire neighborhood. I probably stopped by 25 to 30 of them, and some places did have shoes. Now, the sneaker selection was not that great. There was this pair of, I believe, basketball sneakers, but she had them priced at $20. There was no way I was paying $20 for these, especially because I think I could probably get $20 for these on eBay. There was a pretty sick Nerf collection though. Unfortunately, decided to leave it, even though it was fire. I also checked out some kids shoes. There was a couple yard sales with a lot of pairs of kids shoes and bags. Unfortunately, they were all kind of meh kids shoes and they didn't really have any value, so I decided to leave them. For some reason this weekend, there just wasn't a lot of sneakers at any of the yard sales. There was this one yard sale with a lot of pairs, but they were all kind of meh pairs, which is kind of the theme for this weekend's yard sailing. There was a pair of Heelys, but it was a very small size, but that was pretty much it. I mean, you had some random Skechers, some Crocs, but really nothing with value. But then we had what, in my opinion, was the come-up of the week, and that's that I entered for the Adidas Yeezy Foam Runners in the ochre colorway, and somehow I won them, which is crazy. I got them in my size. I got them for retail, $80. I've entered for every pair of foam runners. I've missed out on every single pair. I've had multiple pairs, but I've paid resale for every single one. I've never gotten a pair for the retail price of $80, and I'm so excited to add these sneakers to the sneaker collection. Again, because I live in Philadelphia or around Philadelphia, I don't have to pay sales tax on essentials like clothing, so I got these for exactly $80 because Adidas also had free shipping. Super excited to see these. Stay tuned till next week to actually see them in hand when I actually unbox them. And then the final stop that I made this week was to Burlington because someone let me know on Instagram that there was pairs of Hot One Shacknosis sitting at Burlington, so I had to stop by. So as soon as I walked in, I noticed that there was a lot of sneakers in stock, way more than usual. It looked like they had just restocked the entire store. Now looking through the shelves, the first thing that I found were a bunch of pairs of Pony YEEZYs, as I like to call them. Fake Yeezys made by Pony that look a lot like Yeezys but are not. It's super weird to see these in store. They're like really badly made and they sell for 20 bucks. I've never seen someone wear these in person, and every pair that I've seen at Burlington is still at Burlington for months, so I just don't see anyone buying these, but apparently there's a ton of them and they come in a bunch of different colors. But they suck. Just my own personal opinion. You guys have been letting me know in the comment section that I need to start looking at cleats, and there was a pair of green Nike cleats here. I guess they're football cleats maybe. I'd never seen this pair of cleats before. There was no price on them, but I did decide to check the prices on eBay. Unfortunately, they were selling for about $35 to $40 on eBay, which I can almost guarantee is less than what they're selling for here. So not worth the pickup, but I will keep my eyes out in the future for more cleats. Then I was really surprised to find a pair of Reebok Iversons. Now this pair is a collaboration that I had not heard of. I had to look it up. It's actually the Minions collaboration, or the Despicable Me collaboration. It was priced pretty high at 59 bucks, and that's basically what they were going for on eBay, but I was really happy to find a pair of brand new Iversons at Burlington, which makes a lot of sense because you're near Philly. Nice looking pair of sneakers. The metallic silver was cool. The weird green piping was definitely interesting, but no resale value, so even though I liked it, it wasn't my size and wasn't worth the flip, so I had to leave it. So before we finish things off, I want to show you guys the sneakers that we picked up throughout the week. And the first pair, obviously, is this pair of Adidas Top 10s that we picked up at Buffalo Exchange. So this is a size 9.5 that we grabbed for $35. On eBay, I saw these going for around $50 to $60. The reason I picked this up was because, honestly, I just really love this shoe. Adidas Top 10s are some of my favorite sneakers that Adidas has ever made, and because it's a size 9.5 and because it's in such incredible condition, I mean honestly this shoe is barely worn, I had to grab it, and realistically I think I am going to add this to the sneaker collection at least for now. I might also throw this up on Tradeblock if you guys want to trade for this shoe, but this is something that I'd be happy to hold on to. But I would still love to know your thoughts on this sneaker in the comment section down below and whether you think I should keep this shoe or flip it. Next up, we've got the Air Jordan 4s that we traded for last week and just got in today. This is a great pair of sneakers. I still don't know what to do with it. I still don't know if I should keep it or sell it. It's in my size, a size 9. It would be a good addition to the sneaker collection, but at the same time, we could make a good amount of money on this because I really only spent $50 for this shoe. Actually, that's not true. With fees and stuff, I forgot about the fees. With fees and stuff, I think I spent about $80 on this shoe. More than I thought, but still, maybe $100 profit if we decide to sell these, so that's not bad. Maybe at the beginning of the next video, I'll do like a full sneaker collection just to show you guys what shoes we have that I'm considering keeping. Then you guys can help me decide. We'll figure it out somehow, some way. And then the final two pairs of sneakers that we ended up picking up, we don't have in hand yet. Of course, that's because we ordered them online. The first pair was a pair that we grabbed off the SNKRS app. That was the Air Jordan 11 IEs that we grabbed for $175 even. And then the other pair, which I'm super excited about, which I'm definitely keeping, are the Adidas YEEZY foam runners in the Ochre colorway, which is an awesome pair of sneakers. I cannot wait to have them, and we grabbed them for I believe $80. Again, no shipping and no taxes because Philly is awesome. So I think that's pretty much everything as far as this week's sneaker pickups. Of course, we do still have sneakers available on the eBay store, which is linked in the description below. I've also added some sneakers from my own personal collection, so if you guys would like to grab any of those, they are also on the eBay store as well. But that pretty much wraps up the episode for this week. If you guys have any suggestions on how we can make this series better, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Obviously, we listened to your suggestions because we implemented one of them in the beginning of the episode. And also, if you guys want to check out Reshoevn8r, make sure to click the link in the description below and use my code SETH. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.